And then Paula also wanted me to go over the, whatchamacallit, too, the uploading stuff again. So we'll see if she comes. All right, I'm going to share my screen, ladies, because we only have ladies, no gentlemen today. All right, you should be seeing my slope fields now. Okay. All right, so most likely, or at least from what we saw, this is what I would analyze as the closest to what you would have to do, okay? So there's a number of ways you could think about this in slope fields, and this is the problems 15 to 18. It's like, oh, there's Paula, yay. Paula, we started slope fields, okay? So you haven't missed anything quite yet, because I just started babbling. So we've got, I think this would be the closest problem. I don't think we need to go through all of it. Hopefully they don't ask you to sketch anything. Like, they can't really ask you about this, because in order to do these kind, they'd have to give you a graph patch where they only, and I doubt they would ask you to redraw. Okay, I just probably cursed it. These ones here are matching the slope field to the actual irregular equation. So not the differential, but the equation. So basically, what does it look like a picture of? So you'll notice this would be a horizontal line, y equals 1, which would have to be this one. Okay, so it's matching it to the exact graph. Okay, what we saw closest was this here. So you have to match to the differential, meaning what do these slopes look like? Okay, so I'm going to do this the way I've done it in the past. Okay, so I'm going to start with number 15. Okay, and I'm going to go dy dx equals 1/2 x plus y. And then I'm going to choose a value, okay, based on the graph. And you'll notice that I have like 1, 1 on each one of these graphs would be that point right there, okay? And actually, that looks like a really good point, because it looks like almost all of them have a different slope at that point. So I'm going to choose the point 1, 1, and I'm going to plug it into here. So I'm seeing 1/2 times 1 plus 1, which looks like 3/2. So that means I have a positive slope, okay? Which means that it can't be graph A. So for 15, I can't use A. B is still a positive slope, okay? C is a horizontal slope, so can't use C, and D is a positive slope. So on the test, it was asking you, why can't it be possible? Well, I would pick one of the values, or keep picking values until you find one that fails. Okay, so let's keep going so we can at least get practice with this plugging in. So now that I've got it down to these two, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a point on there that maybe where their slopes are different. And I notice that here at 1, -1, I have a positive slope, and at 1, -1, I have a negative slope. So I'm sorry, -1, -1. So I'm going to test that value, okay? And if this didn't work, then you test another one. Keep testing values on the test until you find one that fails, and then write that in a sentence. Show the slope what you calculated, and then say that it fails because that slope doesn't match. All right, so we've got 1/2 times -1 minus 1 is going to be -1/2 minus 1, so -3/2. So it looks like it has to have a negative slope, which means it has to be answer choice D. Okay. All right. So now that we've eliminated answer choice D for everything else, we just have A, B, and C left. So this is kind of out. So A, B, and C. So for this one, I'm going to start the same way I did before. I'm going to pick the point 1, 1 and see what happens. It actually should be different for all of them now, right? Because they all have a different slope on the ones that are left. So I put in a 1 for X and a 1 for Y. What's wrong?
I think, wait, where'd you get the -1 on that calculation just now?
On this one here.
+1?
Yeah, it should have been a +1. Thank you, duh. And I just got it wrong, didn't I? So it should be +1/2. Thank you, Maddie. Because I wasn't paying attention. All right, so it should be C or B and not D. So let's fix that. Fix that here too. All right, so it's got to be B, not D. All right, so which means we have A, C, and D as possibilities. Which means I still have a positive and negative, so I still am going to probably eliminate based on this one choice. All right, so I put in a 1 for y. There weren't any x's to plug into, and I get a positive. The only one that has a positive looks like that one right there, right? So it looks like this one should be answer choice D. Okay, so I know I'm down to A and C. I'm going to choose that same point, 1, 1. And I put 1 in for x and 1 in for y, and I end up with 0, which is a horizontal slope. The only one with a horizontal slope there is C. So this one better be A. We're going to check it. 1, 1. It says I've got negative 1 over 1, which is a negative 1, which again is a negative slope. Okay. Paula, did I get answered what you needed answered? Yeah. Okay, awesome. All right. Nobody else emailed me any other specific questions on AB material, okay? But Paula wanted me to kind of go through the steps on the iPhone, okay? If you can think of any other AB stuff, I didn't prep it, but if you can think of any other AB stuff, then let me know. Okay, so there's 2 different ways you can do this on the iPhone, okay? I will see if I can put up my phone here and see if this... There's a child crying. I don't know if Ellie's going to take care of it or not. We'll see. All right. So if you can see my phone right there, I don't know how well you can see it. Let me see if I can. Let me see. I don't think I can get it to just be my webcam. Probably not. It's kind of weird because I'm screen sharing. Let me try to turn off the screen sharing. And stop. And then maybe you'll see me better. You'll see me bigger. Okay. All right. So on my phone, I am looking for, so if you are, okay, so there's an app on there called Notes. If you're on an iPhone, that's probably the best one to use. So on the Notes app, what you want to do is you got to see my driver's license. That was nice. So that's the last thing I scanned, apparently. You pick whatever notes you want and you hit that bottom corner there where it says New Notes, okay? And then you see that there's a little, there should be in the middle, there's a little camera guy, okay? And then and then it says, the top thing it says on the little camera guy is scanned documents, okay? So I'm gonna hit that, and then it comes up and it'll just start scanning, and you can just keep scanning, keep scanning, keep scanning, keep scanning, and then it will eventually save. I don't know, let me scan something. I'll be able to see it, but there. It comes up like with a little yellow screen thing. I don't know, it's just, you can also like, if you got to practice with it, because if you don't get the yellow screen thing going perfectly, then you have to kind of keep the things in there. I'm going to hit keep scan, so I scan something. I just don't remember what the next step is. And then I can hit the button that says save. And then what's next? Oh, and then when I hit done, then I get that little guy up in the corner that like says it's going to send it to places, like with the little box with the arrow up. And I hit that guy. And remember, in your phone, and this works for any of these things, you have tons of places where you can save it to. I'd probably save it to my Google Drive and maybe email it to myself all at the same time. That way I know it goes one place. And then you have a folder set up in your Google Drive. That's probably the fastest, I think, but you got to practice with it, okay? And then under my Google Drive, I'm going to select my folder under my drives, and we were supposed to put one up there that said 0 AP Calc tests. And I would delete your other stuff out of that folder. If you've got other stuff in that folder, get rid of it today, or move it somewhere else, or make yourself a new folder, 0 retest, Calc retest, okay? So the only thing you're in there is that folder, okay? You might even want to do, if you can do the PDF version, then I wouldn't worry about, you're probably gonna be able to catch those scans, which one is which. But if you're gonna do pictures, which I know some of us had problems with the pictures not like going all kinds of crazy order, you might want to make yourself 2 folders inside that folder, or make a folder for question 1 and a folder for question 2 so you don't mix up the pictures, okay? And then you hit upload and it goes upload. The other option is using something like Genius Scan. Let me find my Genius Scan. Genius Scan. Okay, so I've got Genius Scan on here too, and this goes for any phone, okay? So any of our phones, Genius Scan, okay? And you hit the little plus button, and then the little scanner thing comes up, and you scan something. I don't know, I'll scan something. Okay, scan. Okay. I remember one-sided pages. I'd make sure maybe play with your flash off and on today. All right, and then I hit done. And then it shows me the picture of my stuff that I scanned. Okay. And then I'm going to hit down here. It's that same little button where it says export it. And remember, you want to do all your, don't try to do PDFs of all the files. Do the PDF of and make it one file when you do a PDF. That's why it's probably faster to do the PDF. And then it lets me choose, am I going to email it? Am I going to send it to Google Drive? So I'm going to choose Google Drive for mine. Google Drive is available. Okay, great. And then I got to find where it goes. Oh, upgrade. It doesn't like Google Drive. So email it to yourself. My Google Drive doesn't like it. It wants me to pay more money. I'm not doing that. So I got it. So it's in my email. And I'm literally just going to type my school email in there. And I've noticed that, like, if I type my school email and it's to and from on my school email, it goes faster. If I try to take my personal email and email it to my school email, it takes forever. So either do the same address in there, okay, and practice with that a few times today. And then I hit send, and then hopefully it's in my email and I can download it. Paula, is that what you needed? Is there anybody else that has questions about uploading or any of that stuff?
So no. I have a question. So I'm using my Dell desktop, and when you try to upload it to using your Google Drive, when I tried to upload the first time on the exam, when I tried to do it, I did do the practice. However, on my computer, it didn't let me access my Google Drive. It was only.
Are you logged in on your desktop to your school account? I can show you how to do that real quick. Okay.
Yes.
I can show you off of my screen. You are?
I think I was logged into my personal account.
Okay, so you need to go. It doesn't matter which Google Drive you use. Just make sure you understand. So up here in this little corner here, see where my little icon is, my little weird avatar there? It looks like an eyeball. It's actually a fractal. It's a nerdy math thing. But that's where you can change you can come up here and change people up here. So you would I think there's something up there actually. I don't know. I think you can switch accounts right here. Oh, I'd have to add, I don't have other people. So you'd have to add your other account right there, which is what I would do if you're going to do it off your desktop. Either that or you got to email it to yourself. Does that make sense, Paula?
Yes, thank you.
Yep. All right. Are there any other, I know this is really short and quick today. Are there any other AB questions that I need to deal with? You guys have?
Can you do one more tangent line example?
You want me to do a tangent line approximation?
Yes.
Sure. I'm just going to make something up.
Thank you.
I didn't prepare anything. All right, we'll just make something up here. So if you're given a oh boy. No. Okay. Uh-oh, I lost notes. OneNote. It likes to close OneNote when I flip it. All right, so a tangent line approximation, and this goes for everybody, okay? There's a couple of things that could come up. I'm going to pretend that we had a chart, okay, just because then I have something to work off of. So x, f of x, or g of x, or whatever they give you. 1, 2, 5, 10, 15. Let's say this is -2, 3, 5, 8. Apparently I like 5s today, and 10. Okay. So I want an equation of a tangent line, and let's say I want it for f of, let's say f of, we're going to have to give you something, 5, okay? I need to figure out, and I just grabbed random numbers, so my slope might not be great on this. But basically you need to calculate your slope with a line. So I'm going to grab some points in here. Mine are not consistent, so this is not going to be, this is not a stellar example. So we need our point and our slope. We've got the point because we know f of 5 equals 5. We should have picked something else. Let's make it 6. So it doesn't look exactly the same. And then I got to calculate my slope. So my slope would be the 6 minus the 3 over 5 minus 2, which would be 3 over 3. Oh, that was nice. 1. All right, and then we go y minus the y value, which is 6, equals the slope 1 times x minus 5. Now, That's just if they ask you for the equation of the tangent line. Sometimes they ask you to take your equation of a tangent line and use it to approximate something. So let's say they want us to approximate it for whatever, for when f equals, let's say, 3. Okay, so they say they want me to approximate that.
Miss Valerie?
Yeah.
So why did you choose to use like the 2 and 3 and the 5 and 6? Is it possible? Can you use like the 10 and 8 and 15 and 10?
You would probably want to use, if they gave you the 5, I would probably use 5 with whatever they give you. Sometimes they'll surround it and they'll actually give you, I could have done, it's probably, let me do something better. Okay, let me try that again. Okay, so here's what it typically is, because typically you don't have the value in the table, right? Sometimes they'll say, hey, find f of 3, right? Well, they'll find, let's say find f of 4. And they'll tell you f of 4 is like, let's say 5, okay? And then they'll say, so you would know you'd have to find the slope with these two because they surround it. This was probably going to make more sense. So 6 minus 3 over 5 minus 2, which is 3 over 3, which is 1. So this is your slope. This is your point because they gave you that information. Then do your tangent line approximation. Y minus my y value 5 equals my slope 1 times x minus 4. Does that make sense better, Paula?
Yes. So you use whatever like they pretty much give you in that area.
Yeah, you need to surround this x value right here.
Okay.
Okay. Always. Okay. But so the other thing they sometimes ask us to do is say let's not use a 3 this time. Let's use, because let's say we're going to do like 10. Oh, if we have 10. Let's say we're going to do like 11. Okay. So they'll say, hey, now you have this equation of a tangent line. Go ahead and use it to approximate this. So somewhere along the way, sometimes it will be typed in there. They'll say let y equal f of x, or you actually state let y equal f of x or p of x or whatever they give you. In this case, you're going to move this to the other side. So 1 times x minus 4 plus 5. And then I'm going to replace this with whatever my function name is. Now the tears have turned to laughter. That won't last long. All right, and then I'm going to plug in the 11. So f of 11 equals 11 minus 4 plus 5, and then I would be done. Oh, and you don't, on this one, it's an approximation, so it should be an approximately symbol. All right, any other questions for AB level stuff? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, and if nothing else for AB, I'm going to say goodbye to my AB people, and we'll see you tomorrow at noon. And I will make sure you've gotten your papers all set up. You guys can go grab your e-tickets right now and make sure you've got that. You're welcome, Paula. Okay? So I'm also going to turn off the recorder. I'll tell you why once I've turned it off. Okay. Stop sharing. And I'm going to turn this off. All right, so everybody who's in AB, we'll see you later.